Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome or welcome back. I am EBINOTTI, and today we're doing the full moon readings. Full moon is currently in Gemini. How's that been working for you? Okay, so the last reading cycle that we did, the full moon was coming up within about a week. And incorrectly, I said that next full moon coming was Gemini, but it wasn't. It was Taurus. I was one ahead. But oddly enough, we ended up here doing the next set of readings for full moon Gemini anyway. So I love the way that the timelines are going right now. It's not feeling great in your logical mind. That's a big thing coming through for everybody in the collective. If you've been feeling it in the air element, up in the mental space, it's been chaotic. Logically, you maybe are feeling tense, can't quite add things together, but divine timing, the feeling, so your water, your earth, the feeling and the movement is still there. So it's really the mind playing catch up, the mind having to take the back seat. And when we are in our masculine or logical energy quite a lot, trying to function in our lives, trying to get our schedules set, dealing with the events of the season, all of those things, it can be really frustrating. I found that for myself. I really like to be in my logical energy. I like to be scheduled, punctual, efficient, all of those good things that come with air, especially when it's got fire behind it. You've got passion, you've got energy, you've got drive, but logically things aren't scheduling up, aren't adding up. 1 and 1 are not equaling 2 right now. And we got to have a little bit more of that feminine balance come in so that we can still get things done, be efficient, and just be slaying right now. So masculine, feminine, there's a huge need to bring whatever of the elements is really kind of challenging right now. You'll see which is needing a little bit of the focus. Maybe your logical mind or your masculine energy needs to be, kind of nurtured a little bit, or vice versa. Your feminine energy needs that logical support, that mentality that everything's going to be okay, all of the things that come with the mental space to balance out, or even the masculine energy in general to balance out the feminine. So look at which way it's going for you with Gemini full moon being the twins, the twinning energy, also the lovers, which we have up on our wall here. Card number 6 in the major arcana. So we're going to get into this like we always do. We're going to read the full moon cycle, breaking it down in the elements like we do, starting with the ether element. Why do we start with the ether element? Because it's the collective element. That's the place to start, where we all maybe, it's like the general reading, but it's also not general at all. In a lot of ways for the collective, the action or the whatever is necessary for healing or to create or to get things done right now, a lot of that energy needs to be put into. It's not always feeling perfectly in balance or capable, really just capable. And that's the hard part of it here. I completely lost my train of thought there. I just whooshed. So I guess we're not focusing on air, but going back, this is why we're reading the ether element first, and that's what ether is. We're starting with the collective so that we can all get on the same page and see how we're going to be affected. That's what I was saying. Why specifically sometimes people in the collective get called for certain moon cycles. If you look at your star chart or your birth chart, you'll be able to see a lot of that, but you can intuit it as well. You don't have to kind of go digging for fact right now. Again, that logical mind being asked to kind of put it just on the back burner. It's not about not analyzing, not researching, not getting the facts, not digging out the truth, not asking the question. So all of those things are still relevant, but it's about the timing of it. Divine timing is a huge part of this right now. It's feeling a lot like water. So I'm very curious to see what comes up as we read the ether element. We're going to pick out our oracle cards now to get us started. We do 2 oracle decks, and then we do our tarot spread. Ooh, and I know it. That's our second deck right there. Okay, so first and foremost, we're starting out with the crystal oracle. We do this a lot. Cheers to you. If you're having some sips right now, I'm drinking a Nescafe sweet and creamy coffee. We talk a lot about recipes and, lifestyle and things like that over on Instagram. Also, if you're following on Facebook, the EBINOTTI Facebook page, we share a lot of the things going on in the collective over there. So make sure you check out EBINOTTI on other social media platforms if you want more content from me. Okay, so all the decks that we use, not just in this reading, but my entire collection, are listed and linked down in the description box if you're watching this on YouTube. So make sure you check out the description box here if you can find it. I feel like they're trying to hide it now, but you can get there. For any links or any information, contact information, if you want to book a personal reading as we get closer to Christmas and the holidays. My schedule tightens up a bit, but it never hurts to ask. Okay, so we are still booking for December right now. I don't have a lot of slots still open for December, so make sure you get it quickly if you want it. Okay, big discounts as well for the winter season. If you haven't, again, if you're not following EBINOTTI on other social media platforms, you may not have seen those announcements, but we are doing a big ol', and one is coming up soon as well, another discount. So make sure if you want to book a reading or something, you inquire about that, and I'll obviously let you know if there's any deals going on. Okay, let's cut this deck and see where we're starting. I'm already getting so hot right now. I have to take my little sweater off. Maybe I should put my hair up. Hair up is probably a good place to start. It's driving me bonkers today anyways. So let's just do that, shall we? I also have a beauty page here on YouTube if you're interested in style and beauty stuff. It's just EBINOTTIbeauty on YouTube. You can check that out. I haven't posted anything new in a while, but I have a ton of content I want to put out over there. I will never give up on that page or channel or whatever you want to call it, because I studied fashion. I love beauty. I can't help myself, but I am up in northern British Columbia, Canada right now, so the lifestyle is just different up in the mountains. You hear? Okay. Starting out on the bottom of the deck, we have Moonstone, beautiful crystal, one of my personal favorites, coming up to represent cycles. We read the moon cycles, so I love that this is where we're starting. It's explaining and sending the message how important this stuff is, especially for females. The feminine energy moves with this timeline, okay? So this is important again, to bring it back to talking about the timing of things. The natural cycles that we're going through really change our timing, our timeline. Your mind can be super ambitious, super logical, ready to go, and all those things, but your natural cycles, again, especially as a female, your natural cycles are the number one. So asking us to intuit, to feel out what our cycle is if logically things aren't adding up for us right now. So if we're having trouble getting things in our mind the way we want them to be, okay? And with that, we get our card, but it's face down. We can't see it. So bottom of the deck for our reading now, we have Kyanite with inner bridges. I'm laughing because I was just looking at my Kyanite wand and deciding whether or not I wanted to leave it on the altar for this reading. I decided to leave it on the altar, and here's the sign, inner bridges. Okay, this is the spiritual stuff. This is where all of your ancestral bloodline, not just your genetics, how you look and, how your body functions. I mean the spiritual aspects of where you come from, the reason for that, and who you are and why you are. And if you've been struggling with finding your purpose, your passion, what direction to go in, this is bridging the gap internally so that you really get that clarity. So Kyanite bringing up the clarity, and I'm really feeling that, clearing out the third eye space or the first eye space. If you're feeling that, it's a great way to be able to intuit things in front of you, is to see. I use the mind in a lot of ways to logic out my version of logic, not society's version of logic, to logic out what I'm feeling. And until I can bring those two together, I'm usually in a state of confusion or, you know, just not quite there yet with something. I'm still, you know, piecing it together or pulling it apart. So bridging the inner gap. And our card for the reading, Malachite, very powerful healing stone, coming up as will. Solar plexus chakra, boom, fire activation in a big way. So full moon Gemini is Gemini being an air element sign within the zodiac, very much so in the mental space and the upper chakras. But if the lower chakras, you know, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus are not active in this way and in alignment, the upper chakras really don't get a chance to function properly, okay? They can separate and function within the spirit, but then it's like your dreams are going to be popping off, your subconscious, your belly, like your gut can really start taking a lot of the brunt work because your upper chakras had to go rogue. They had to go independent from the system to be able to get their job done or function the way they need to go through the things that you're going through. Do you see what I'm saying? So big fire activation for the collective here. Malachite telling us that it's in a healing way. So getting that solar plexus chakra right here below the rib cage in your, it is your gut, but it's right below your rib cage in your diaphragm, where a lot of your tension and anxiety and anger can be rooted. So I'm feeling a lot of the physical healing for us going through the collective. I feel some people doing a lot of physical healing within that chakra, digging out some of the things that get printed into the body. Okay, so using our willpower for the rest of us, where this is not a healing activation, but it really is an activation of our willpower. It's because of this alignment. The lower chakras are in alignment, boom, heart space activation. Okay, and then I feel the third eye for a lot of us because we got our eyes on the prize. Okay, I just keep hearing eye on the prize and waiting for that start gun as I see 1212 on the clock. Okay, rock and roll. Second oracle deck that we're using today is the dragons. Any of my familiars here surprised by this? No, I didn't think so. It's dragon energy right now, for real. If you don't know about Michelle Gibson and that whole, there's just a whole group or crew, choose. There's a whole crew of people here on YouTube doing that old world architecture conspiracy breakdown. And Michelle Gibson, one of my favorites. They just put out a documentary called The Old World Order 2024. It came out like 10 days ago, 11 days ago, something like that. And I just watched it. So wonderful, so fantastic. And really giving us a chance to let the mind be active in something. If you have a research subject you're interested in right now, something you've always wanted to learn, a recipe you've always wanted to try, it's like the way that they give us the little games to help activate our mind. You know, you see the little old ladies knitting with their patterns, quilting, puzzle making, those kind of things. It's to keep the brain engaged and winning. You know what I mean? When a sports team plays the first game of the season, they usually play a game they can win because it gets the, you know, for the whole season, it gets the energy where you want it to be so you can try to maintain it now. So that's a huge message for the collective. Okay, bottom of the deck, fire and water. One of my favorite combination of elements. Let's see what this dragon has to say. The fire and water dragon enables your life to flow with loving force. So life is the energy. That's where fire and warmth and creation and all of that plays together. Loving, flowing force is where the feminine comes in to find not just creation energy, masculine, feminine, fire and water creating together, but the natural balance. When you have a big fire, what do you need to contain it? Water. These are natural elements. The way earth and air naturally go together, the earth and the wind worked in unison, fire and water are the same. They're balancing elements. So enables your life, not just you, but your life, your environment and your circumstances and the opportunities and decisions you have to make to flow with a loving force, not just flowing with the natural flow, but flowing with force. Okay, so we get some fire activation. 2 times. You feel the message? Okay, that's why we read ether first as well, so we can look at which element is really going to stick out. And then when we break down the elements, we see how those two messages can play together. Always watch the ether, and then from there, you don't have to watch all 4 of the elements, earth, air, fire, water. You can pick the ones you need to. I mean, I definitely go back and watch them all. I'm getting the messages same as you. Okay, so fire and water dragon, prepare for change. How my earth signs feeling about that? Prepare for change. It's the heads up that you're asking for, right? This is why we do this, is to get a heads up. Here's the heads up. Prepare for change. Period. Okay? And to move forward quickly. So we're moving quickly here. Fire usually does. Expect the unexpected and have fun. Yes. Expect the unexpected, not my favorite message. Have fun, definitely my favorite message with that, because surprises, when they're good, do you remember what a good surprise feels like? Have you ever had one? Because that's the energy they're asking you to activate here. Prepare yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, if you need to. Prepare yourself for change. Good, bad, or ugly, doesn't matter, just change. Then expect the unexpected and have fun, meaning once the work's done, you might as well have a good time because you have no idea what's coming next. This is like, we already prepped for the war. We're just waiting for them to show up outside the wall. We got the whole night. We know they're not coming tonight, at least until the morning. So we got the night. That's it. You know, in the grand scheme of things, that's a harsh message, but it's a real life message. And for a lot of us, given how insane, unappealing, challenging, destructive our lives have been, the opportunities and decisions we've had to make recently, change can be a very good thing. It can be the end of a siege, a long siege. It can be the end of a journey, a long journey. You know, so cycles coming back once again. Sorry, I'm just like eyeing down the police driving through my trailer court here. I'm very curious to what they're doing on private property. Bottom of the deck, Black Dragon. This is our theme for our reading now. One of my favorite energies. Look how protective and cocooned and sort of not even mama bear, but mama dragon this little seed here is. Okay, very well protected. Black is always a protection energy, if not a clearing energy, clearing for protection. Cocoons you so that your divine potential grows. The divinity within you is activating in a big way, or there's something from your spirit team for some of us coming in. So that's why that cocoon is necessary and you are cocooned, okay? Meditate, reflect, undergo a metamorphosis. Okay, so the thing about, this is where it gets to be like very like the Death Rider kind of energy. Undergoing metamorphoses is usually a bit painful. Again, the message of growing pains in your youth coming up again. So remembering how important it was to grow. We wanted to be tall, or we wanted to be, you know, big and adult and all that stuff when we were children, but we had to go through a metamorphosis that was extremely painful and maintain a full-time school career and a home life and all of the labels that were being put on us, sister, daughter, you know, whatever, into sports, not into sports, into music, into art, pretty, ugly, short, fat, skinny, tall, you know, like all of that was weighing down at the very same time as a massive physical metamorphosis was going on. So big message for the collective. Don't be surprised if you're feeling some growing pains, okay? Deep blue, one of my favorite colors. Look at that. Look at the fire. Okay, so really, do you see the fire symbolism, people? Okay, so the fire activation is pretty real, and so is the protection, because who's blasting and clearing all of this energy? Pretty close to the Black Dragon. You know, you catch the black here in the right light, and you get this beautiful royal deep blue color. So very, very interesting here with the activation, the protection coming from the spiritual realm. We'll just call the dragons part of the spiritual realm right now. So the deep blue dragon keeps you safe by clearing your pathway. Read that straight out the third eye. Trust that you're protected. Trust, big part of this. That's faith, baby. You got to trust yourself, and then you got to have faith in walk on a path of light. So you know who's out here. You know, if you know who's out here. I don't necessarily care how you break down the concept of God, but it matters right now how you break down the concept of Satan or the devil and demons. Okay, so that darkness, the light bringer, I mean, we know that there's some tainted, distorted, perverted shit up in there. So this is staying on path and knowing that you're protected because of the activation. Your will is power. Your power is what makes you either light or dark. You see what I'm saying? It what keeps you where you are with your faith and your love and all of your gifts. And it very quickly can start getting dark and you can start losing gifts, opportunities. There's a difference between self-sabotage and, you know, making bad decisions, choosing the wrong person to worship, thing to do, you know, just going with the wrong energy. So this is very important here that you feel the cleanliness of your energy. Okay, you need to be whole right now, especially with stuff like this on the table. If you're being protected, you're being protected for a reason. If you're being activated, you're being activated for a reason. That power, that energy, that gift, that creation, that next thing you're going to do with this activation, it's going to get a lot of things hungry. And I say things, okay? Because you've looked into your people's soul and you've seen some shit that ain't right in there. So you know what I mean by things, right? It's like it can come from the people you love the most and it doesn't matter. If they let that in, they let that in, you know? So you can only pray for them and do any clearing for them that you can, but that's it. And that's what this is about. You are being protected by spirit right now. So that's how deep it's gotten. It's gotten to the point where you need spiritual protection because you are activating yet again. I heard yet again. More power, more gifts, more opportunity. You just keep fucking boom, 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 leveling up. That makes a lot of things out here hungry for it, right? But it's not about fear. We're about activating, supporting, and aligning together. That's it. This is not about being afraid. It's just about knowledge. Okay, so you know, if you've been feeling it, if that message was for you, you've been feeling it, you already know. So just know everything's being cleared because a gift is being activated and it's time to use it. Okay, let's get into the tarot. I'm going to smoke a little. Heads up to anybody triggered by smoking. Oh God, sorry, that was a whole disaster there. I'm going to smoke while we pick out our tarot deck. I have a meeting at 4, so we're going to scoot through this pretty quick. Got about 18 minutes, 20 minutes, which is plenty of time once we get rolling here. Okay, I just keep seeing the Tarot of the Familiars over and over again, so we're going to do it. This is my Tarot of the Familiars deck. I've got the mini size. There's lots of different sizes nowadays in the deck. So I like the deck because I like the way it shuffles, the way a playing card would shuffle, you know. It's my fave. So, excuse me. We're going to give this 3-4 quick shuffles, cut the deck, and see what the tarot has to say. Full Moon Gemini. We're reading the ether element today. I want to thank you for being here with me. I am EBINOTTI. You are beautiful. And we're doing this thing called Life Together. Okay, bottom of the deck to get us started, the 8. The 8 of Earth. Okay, this is the Pentacles. This is everything physical. Your money, your home, quality of your life, your health. Big part of that, right? You get all the money in the world and you ain't got no health. You're fucked, you know, like you can have a bajillion dollars, but you can't heal a broken leg any faster than it's going to naturally heal. So the natural laws of the universe coming up to talk to us with that 8 of Pentacles. That doesn't always read like that, but I like it. I'm doing a tarot program with the Happy Healer, aka Divine Sophia. If you know my lovely friend Syrena from TikTok, we've got a program partially out already, almost finished. but you can buy each of the segments of it or the whole program. So make sure you check out the link in the description box if you can't find that. I will also link that on all the social media. It's on my other social media as well. If you follow EBINOTTI in other places, you'll see that link. Make sure you check that out. If you're interested in learning about the tarot, the history of tarot, is it demonic? Who invented it? Where did it come from? What did they use it for? Why? Okay. Or if you want to read cards, we guarantee you can read cards in the 4-hour program, because I believe anybody can read cards. We just all have different gifts. It doesn't mean if you're not the best tarot reader in the world or the, you know, have the biggest gifts in reading cards in the world, it doesn't mean you can't help someone. Okay, so I believe anybody can read cards, and I believe information and tools are always good to have. So if you've always been curious about tarot, go on and check that out. Again, I'll make sure I have that listed in the description box, and I'll try and pin it at the top of the comments as well to make it convenient for you. The description box, I swear, is getting harder and harder to find, even for me, and I'm quite good at YouTube. I work on YouTube, you know? Anyway. Okay. Boom. We got our first few cards. We got quite a few. Not too many. So we have a number that's too many. We put it back. Okay, first card out. Wow. Major Arcana coming up as an 8 as well. If you know tarot, you know that the Major Arcana 8 and 11 are often switched. Justice and Strength. It could be either or. If you've always been like WTF about that, that's why. Each person who makes the deck decides which they want to do as which for whatever reason. So card number 8 in the Major Arcana. Do you see how the 8 keeps playing out here? So 8 is a number of power, a number of magic and alchemy and physical understanding. So power and energy. In a lot of ways, it has everything to do with infinity, and that means justice. Today coming up as justice. This is fairness and balance, which is why I think this is happening. I love how these cards, the Dragon Oracle deck, has the blast of fire that is clearly within the healing spiral and cocooned within the embodiment of the dragon here. So showing that the element of this creature is fire. I love that that's represented very much so here. So I think in a lot of ways, this has everything to do with your protection. I don't think you have to worry at all about justice. It is what it is. If you want to be a good person truly in your mind and your heart, you want to be a good person, then you take your consequences. So if anything's coming for you right now, you stand in front of it. You get yourself real fucking humble in front of it. It doesn't matter if you're embarrassed. You can feel the embarrassment and the shame even, and all of that deepness, but you act nothing but humble. I don't care if you cry, if you blub, if you act a fool, if you embarrass yourself more. There's nothing more shameful than turning your ego on when you've been called out for something you did. No. I see you, I love you, I know you in your soul and your spirit, and you're better than that, so do better than that. That's the request here. Stand in justice here, okay? No matter how corrupt they try to make a system a part of our lives or our society, it doesn't matter. You stand on account, okay? Because in the end, it doesn't matter if there's a God or not. In the end, justice will prevail, because that's here. That's here. That's the heart. Before we make the courtrooms and put fucking wigs on and write out law books, it's here. And we're born with it, okay? So don't let anyone push you off that. Second card out, 4 of Cups, the water element. This is what I'm talking about things emotionally being in alignment, very much so. Nothing but opportunities and greatness here, healing and understanding, but the mental space finds it very difficult to take a back seat. It's one of our greatest strengths. Why would it want to be told, not now, not you? You're making good points, and yes, you're right, and da-da-da-da, but, you know, we don't need you right now. It's kind of like, what? There's this energy of like, knowing that you don't need it and finding it very difficult to put it aside right now, okay? However that plays out for you. So a little bit of that discontented, not quite lining up emotionally. Allow this activation and clearing to be the thing, okay? Because once the furnace is lit, baby, all that heat spreads out. It just pours out into the world. Everything it touches is changed by it, okay? Warmed by it, felt by it. Beautiful. Central energy with our third card out, the Six of Wands. So full moon Gemini being represented by the Lovers, major arcana number 6, all the major arcana rules the minor arcana. In here we have the Six of Fire. So once again, the balance of masculine, feminine, the left and right hemispheres of the brain, the poles, you know, the polarities that you experience within your life coming into alignment and balance. That's when that activation happens. Okay, so that's exactly central energy. It's exactly where you're at right now. Massive alignment for activation. It's everything that we talk about. It's everything that the brand EBINOTTI and this collective and the tribe is about. It's about alignment. Once you've gotten to neutral, you've healed what you can heal and you're good, you're at neutral, it's about alignment. Alignment for activation. Okay, so lots of healing, lots of gifts coming in. I can feel all the gifts coming in and activating for some of the collective. I'm digging it. That's exactly what we need. Okay, fourth card out, the Five of Pentacles. So feeling in a little way here. And of course, it's the holidays, so no surprise that there's judgment and all that shit on the table that we have to deal with, but feeling a little bit still like the outcast, still like the black sheep, still like not appreciated, but it's not the truth of it. It's not the truth of the situation that you were underappreciated or not seen or, you know, not allowed to have, do, be. You know, the 5 is the number of change. So we got that message already. Prepare for change. So this is what's changing. It's like you've always been the outcast. You still feel that way. Here's all the proof of it as we go through the holiday season and all that stuff. But there's a falseness to this energy that I find interesting. Can't quite put my finger on it yet. So let's see what else we get. Ooh. Okay, fifth and final card before we clarify the King of Swords. Very popular energy lately. Thank God we're mastering, in our masculine energy, we're mastering the air element here, and that's a good thing. We certainly need it. If we're activating our fire center, we really do want the mind there with us. We want our brilliance and our communication skills. We want to be articulate and on point and punctual and all the things. So we are achieving mastery here. This is the thing that we are going towards. It's a little rocky getting there. Full moon Gemini, we've all been feeling it, not surprising. When we get there, it still feels a little rocky. With our clarifiers, I'm sure we'll get more of that energy, but it still feels a little rocky when we get there. I'm thinking that has everything to do with it being the masculine. We started with Justice and we finished with King of Swords. So we're going to see why. He's a very good judge. You know, he's just not the King of Swords. He's just not typically like compassionate. That's not his big. But when he's in perfect alignment and balance and activation, then you're good. Then you're good. The activation can be rocky though. So I think that's what this is. Activating mental mastery at this point is going to be a little rocky because who wants to be the judge? It's a very difficult job to be the one day after day who has to make those big decisions. We are only human. We make mistakes too. So there's that whole layer to the responsibility. Okay, first clarifier out. The Knight of Cups under Justice. So once again, you know, you can see here represented, there's the path and it's very clear that you're being directed down a specific path. Has everything to do with the heart space. The Knights in Tarot are warriors. They fight, they battle. They are the most capable of getting the job done if the job requires labor or enforcement or security, protection, like any of that kind of, even what's it called, observing, to be the witness. They're great witnesses in a court of law because their word is official. They have a job to do within society, so they don't lie. Let's not talk about our society. Let's talk about the theory, right? This would be like the police and the military, and it's like, in theory, they weren't supposed to be like they are, right? There's a lot of perversion and abuse and corruption in our world. But this is a very clear guiding force. You've got the warrior energy if it's your heart space that's being activated and called here, and you'll know if it is because you'll feel it. For a lot of us, that's exactly how that feels. Second clarifier out, the second card and last card that dropped, Six of Pentacles. So we saw the Six of Wands, fire, sitting centrally, and right before that now is our clarifier, so they'll be touching on a diagonal, is the Six of Pentacles. Under the Four of Cups, it's like I said, it feels, because of the logical mind, like things are not in alignment, are not activating. You're getting beaten down, or, you know, things are really distorted around you. But this is the alignment, okay? It doesn't always look great. It doesn't always feel great. And that's just part of it. Six of Pentacles for anyone looking for that job, needing that money, especially when it comes to not doing things alone. Excuse me, not wanting to be alone, not wanting to do it alone, feeling very, you know, kind of distorted in our own right within that energy. This is the alignment. This is the balance. And I love that the Six of Pentacles and the Knight of Cups are side by side, touching, being very supportive. There's an earth and water balance there that's really beautiful. So the feminine, in a big way, the feminine energy is coming in and being supportive as well as getting support from the masculine. Okay, 3 more cards as clarifiers here for full moon Gemini, baby. The ether element. Oh yeah, it's too many. Let's see. Two, I saw one more. Oh, that's quite a few. Okay, well, that's how we're doing it, I guess. Cards just do whatever they want sometimes. Okay, central energy clarifying our Six of Wands. Wow, the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles goes like that. Is a collaborative energy. It's definitely what we're looking for if we're trying to be creative, if we're doing any kind of work. This is people seeing your work, being able to support it in their own way, whether that's give you resources, give you views, share it with the person who gives you resources, and there's a building energy off of this Three of Pentacles that feels really good for anybody trying to work on their money, their career, even their health, building their home is coming into this in a big way. So the stable things, the things that are our foundation in our physical life. And because it's clarifying the Six of Wands, it's a massively successful energy. Again, people only interfering here in positive ways, which is great to know, isn't it? So if you've been struggling with your schedule, or, you know, getting time for certain people and spending time with other people, know it's because this energy is yours. If someone's not moving in this energy, or they're not into this energy right now, they're not interested, they'll be kind of like moved off of your schedule. You know what I'm saying? Because this is where you're at, and it's such a good thing for you. The 9, 6, and 3, building the 9 here is all about the self. Fire and earth coming in here is showing that anything that you have the drive and the fire to be successful at, the things you really desire to be successful at, physically represented in your life, which, considering next we have the Five of Pentacles to clarify, which is sort of like the opposite of being this kind of successful. Considering this is the thing that comes next, it's like, we know with the holidays, misery loves company, and there's a lot of pain in the world right now that people are sharing, not always in the healthiest ways. And some of our most toxic relationships are definitely family. And I think there's a real reason for that, because we can align and activate together if we can simply do that. So that's the growth that you can expect from your people this year. Five of Pentacles, our next and fourth row out, Clarified by the Three of Cups. Do you see what just happened? There's like a 5 and 3, 6 and 3 kind of energy. The 3 keeps coming up as clarifiers to help. 3 is a number of power. It builds the pyramid. Before you get 4 corners of stability, you get the 3. And that's the beginning of a spiral. You know, there's a massive amount of energy in these 3 cups. And with being all feminine here, earth and water elements, being all feminine, it's very supportive. If you're feeling outcast, the downtrodden, somebody says the wrong thing really hurts your feelings and all of that, no fear and no rest. You don't need to slow down because in some environments or around some people, you don't feel that support. I know it's hard not to focus on the people, like you always wanted your dad's support, or you always wanted, you know, somebody important in the world to see you, or your professor or the dean, you know, like, but it doesn't matter because you're in alignment, you're growing and becoming more skilled, capable, efficient, you know, you're getting better with this activation. So allowing the support, it's there if you need it, believe it or not. But being very careful that the mental space doesn't kind of ruin it in thinking it needs to be a certain way. If you're being handed something that you asked for, don't worry about what it looks like, okay? Just take it in faith. Final card out to clarify, the King of Swords. We got 3 cards and we're going to look at them just like that. The first one is Major Arcana 21, the final card in Major Arcana, the World. Massive congratulations from the universe with that card. Second card out, the Two of Swords, the Two of Air. This is about decision making, and it's no surprise with full moon Gemini, that lover's energy, that masculine feminine twinning, mirroring energy. It's no surprise that we have decisions, big life-changing decisions to make here under this energy. And the third card we got for a clarifier is the Two of Wands, 2-2, again, back to back, Two of Air, Two of Fire. Both are masculine elements, okay? So the mirroring is going layers and layers and layers. If you look for the signs right now, you will receive the messages, no doubt about it. Again, trying not to limit the way that we see here, because with the World card, anytime you get the end of the cycles of Major Arcana, you get massive upgrades. You get rest, you get rewards, you get upgrades, you get all of these wonderful things. And if the mental space or the masculine energy is being oppressed, like really strong right now, make sure you're not suppressing it. Allow it to come up even if it's not feeling good, because it's part of the upgrade and it shouldn't be too rocky in this energy. This kind of mastery is only, meaning air element, masculine air element. This kind of mastery is only difficult when you resist it. I mean, real life is difficult, but you've mastered that. You're bomb at that. You've got your feminine energy all in flow. The masculine is struggling a little bit more here. Okay, so no resistance and no fear. This is being called to be courageous. We start with justice and we finish with the World. You are being called to be brave. Activate courage within your body, okay? Bottom of the deck to finish us off. Look at him go. The Magician, the Alchemist. We talked about that alchemy energy, about the 8s being the number of magic and power. That means that they have a lot to do with the solar plexus and the power center of willpower. Okay, it's a big energy pool. We use it a lot. We don't always do it well. So here, activating all the elements, getting into all the alignments from a masculine spiritual standpoint. The Magician is a masculine energy. We all have this. We all need this. Anytime you function in the world, you're using masculine energy, okay? So you already know if you're a manifester. You already know if you are fucking with dark magic. You already know the warnings behind this. With this kind of power on the table, you, with the levels of protection and you know, that cosmic advice that you're getting, you already know where not to step. So I'm not gonna put it out here too many times, but we will warn the new people to the collective. You want to be careful when power like this is on the table, because you don't want to be dealing with shame on the other side of it. Okay. And we're going to leave that one right there. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really hope you enjoyed this reading. Full moon is open. Full moon Gemini, either element. It's a wrap. Anything you need down in the description box. Leave a comment if you're so inclined. Please give this video a thumbs up if you did enjoy it. Drop a black and white heart in the comment section if you made it this far in the video. I love you so much, and I will see you on your next reading.